Hi, guys. My name is Eric, and you are listening to the very first episode of Talking to People. Going to try and get people on here maybe once a week or however often I can, talk about things that are going on in their lives. Today, I've got 38-year-old Andy. Andy is a cystic fibrosis survivor since birth. So we're going to go into that and talk to him about it. And he's also an avid traveler and just good at talking. So, Andy, what was it like growing up with cystic fibrosis?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right off the bat again.
Yeah. It was a lot of medications, as well as hospital stays along the way.
Damn. Growing up in West Virginia, was it like...
Yeah, that was fun. Most doctors were out of state.
Yeah, I would imagine it being pretty rural, so... Like, not saying anything about West Virginia, but just the location. Probably sucked traveling a lot.
No, actually, that may have, I think it kind of sparked my traveling ambitions, yeah.
Oh, cool. Kind of figured out, did it send you across the country or just in the regular area?
No, like, as a kid, I would go to, like, Charleston, which is our state capital.
Okay.
It was about 2 hours away.
Okay.
And then, later on had to go to Morgantown or Pittsburgh, PA.
Dang.
So it's pushing 3 to 4 hours.
Damn. That's a ways away.
It
get you out of school?
It did. It did.
I get to get out of school and go places. F you guys.
I did a lot of drug studies in junior high.
Really?
Yeah.
In junior high?
I was out of school a lot.
Dang. They were testing on you young then, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I was at some sort of right position with health and age and...
Oh, nice. I mean,
everything
obviously...
else, that tested so many trial drugs.
Obviously, it was a good idea. I mean, you're 38 and you're here.
Yeah.
Hey, you look pretty healthy to me.
Yeah.
Seem like you're doing all right. I mean,
FDA just passed a new... one of the new drugs that they've been working on for a long time to try to kind of nip it in the bud.
Oh, wow. So is that actual... like gene therapy drug or?
I am not sure.
Oh, okay.
I haven't really looked into it much. I think at this point it doesn't apply to
me. For those that don't really know what cystic fibrosis is, you want to kind of give them a little bit of an explanation?
Yeah, it's a gene mutation that you have to have each parent as a carrier, and what it does, it just creates extra mucus in your body and starts to affect the pancreas and, more famously, the lungs.
Right. That was what I was most familiar with at first, and then started looking into it whenever you got a hold of me, and fuck, not an expert, but it didn't take long to learn quite a bit about it though, which is I don't know if it's good or bad because I feel like I could have learned about it earlier. It didn't seem like it, not trying to downplay it or nothing, but like just to inform yourself a little bit didn't take a lot, and like it cleared of a lot of ignorance just off of reading a little bit about it, which is kind of crazy.
I mean, it's not, I guess, all that common, although the statistics are, what is it, 1 in every 100,000?
Is it? It's something. I know it's something high.
But it's mainly a Caucasian thing, so
right.
It sticks to just that area.
So white guys got their own stuff too, huh?
Yeah, just us.
Damn. I guess everybody's probably happy they're left out of that one, I guess. That sucks though, man. Get back on topic though. Growing up with it, how was your schedule? What was it like? Did you get to kind of do a lot of things normal kids still did though, like just have fun, play outside, sports, stuff like that?
Never did the sports. Tried a couple times, didn't really work out.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think I just mainly was about the healthcare.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Damn. So most of your childhood's just wrapped around that, dude.
Yeah, pretty much.
At least get video games.
Not a
something.
Not a TV person. I'm an outdoors person. So,
I gotcha.
Yeah, my parents would take me vacations once a year.
Oh, okay. So you get to go around
every weekend, go somewhere in the woods and play.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
Especially out in West Virginia, I bet you can explore it forever.
Yeah.
Just wander around.
And like I was showing you earlier, the 200 acres I grew up on, like
Right.
that was just a playground.
Right.
Building cabins, doing whatever.
Growing up, you guys probably had 4-wheelers, all that stuff.
Oh,
Yeah, that was always kids I was jealous of. For real.
yeah.
Like, oh man, why can't I have that? But
they're fun until you wreck them.
that's what I've heard.
Yeah. Got a nice burn from a motorcycle once. I wrecked it into a multifloral rose bush. You've heard of those on the East Coast?
No, but
thorny,
just the thought of
yeah,
one crashing a motorcycle and then two
into
crashing
a
a motorcycle into a thorn bush.
Yeah, those things are pretty well impenetrable, so it just caught me. Walked away with a pretty nasty burn on my calf.
Did it ever piss your parents off that you were doing stuff like that? Dude, that's
they
crazy.
Me the bike, so.
Hey, there you go. They're like,
I had my helmet on. That's
have
a big
fun,
part.
kid. Be safe. Ish.
Yeah. Just wear your helmet.
Right? It's kids, whatever.
Yeah.
It's hopefully kids today still get to grow up like that. Like, grew up outside playing, like hitting each other with sticks and crap.
Yeah,
Everything was a
so.
toy. No. Hey, how many? Oh, you didn't have any siblings. That's right. Yeah, that's. I grew up with 3 brothers.
Yeah.
We fought constantly.
See, I had the benefit of cousins.
There you go.
So
They're
we
like,
could fight, but we all went home to our own separate spaces.
yeah,
at the
that's
end
what I
of the
say.
day, so
Cousins
that
are
was a
like
nice-
the bad influence siblings that you
Yeah.
don't see all the time.
Oh no, there was 4 of us. That pretty
Oh, really?
much just was on the farm all the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. You know, for entertainment, we found things like
Yeah.
we used to beat each other.
Yeah,
You know,
that.
braid a rope and then leave the end of it tattered and then
There we go.
drive by on a 4-wheeler.
That's better than
Smack
dirt clods and
somebody.
sticks.
It is. Instead of dirt balls,
Yeah, I mean,
there's a good story in there for that one.
but I grew up in rural Illinois, so like cornfields everywhere. So when they turn up the corn, it was everywhere around was just dirt
yeah,
and sticks. So that's what we hit each other with.
that's what you had. Well, we had cows on our farm.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you get 2 people on a 4-wheeler, and the person in the back is the scooper, all right, and the thrower. Person up front just worries about driving,
Right.
and getting hit. So, yeah, we spent a whole day with I think 3 4-wheelers and about 7 of us going through picking up and creating dung piles about this big,
Oh, yeah.
throwing them out at the oncoming 4-wheeler at 30 miles an hour. That was definitely one of the highlights of living
Oh,
in
God.
rural countries.
I don't know why. It's that's when you grow up rurally. Like, that's just what fun is. It's like, oh, let's see how much I can piss off my friend or my brother or my
yeah.
cousin. Oh, they'll get them. Snowballs full of ice and rocks, of
No.
course. No?
No,
Oh, man, that's a classic.
no, we didn't do that.
The rock snowball? That's it's like a tuning fork. Right? Maybe one of these days we'll upgrade to some better mic stands, but these work for now. Pretty good. So it didn't really limit you much growing up, right?
Yeah, not so much. Nothing
Just,
really stood out until maybe later in high school or, early 20s.
Damn. Is it just kind of lung infection, stuff like that, or?
Yeah, it turns into, 2-week hospital stays of getting IV antibiotics, and
jeez.
that just got more and more frequent
Right.
throughout my 20s.
So growing up, not too bad. Just it's something that increases as you get older, I guess, right? Like now everybody's living, like not everybody's living longer, but
No, they are.
they
sure.
are for real. Like when the diagnosis was even 60 years ago, 8 to 10 years old, and now 40 is the median age, right? So
Right.
a lot of accomplishments, a lot of stuff going on.
And I think that's medium age without including transplant.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's really
Yeah,
a lot better than
I
what it
don't
was.
know if they've done any sort of thing with averages with our numbers.
Right.
As far as including them with the rest of the
And so you received a
CF patients,
transplant 8 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you still seem like you're breathing pretty good. They say, correct me if I'm wrong, I heard that eventually it starts to infect your transplant too, does it not? Or
No.
No? Oh, okay.
No.
That is one thing that I had heard, so I wanted to ask too. It seemed when I met you, I figured you'd be wheezing. So
No,
yeah,
the new lungs are never affected.
dude, that's awesome.
You're like my biggest. What should I say? Biggest enemies now are germs.
Okay.
It's outside germs or some sort of infection from food.
Oh yeah. Just compromise the immune system, basically.
Yeah, from having that things that lead.
As long as you take care of yourself, you're looking pretty good then.
Yeah, exactly.
That's nice. That's
actually lung function shouldn't go down. It shouldn't decrease. If it does, that's usually considered a rejection.
That's
thing.
Very compelling for people out there, especially. Like, what would you say to younger people? Somebody that's got cystic fibrosis and they're just starting to see the effects and feel the symptoms. Like, what would you say to them?
Well, right now, I think someone, if they were in their 20s and still had decent lung function, would be to fight to keep that lung function.
Yeah.
Because the medications that they're finally coming out with now, like transplant, can be a thing of the past.
Really?
They can start treating from an early age. And even though you may still have mucus secretions and even though you still may have hospital stays, it's not as intense and you can live.
Wow. So it seems like there's
basically a more normal and longer life.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Stem cell research?
Not sure.
No? Yeah, you don't watch much TV, I forget. Yeah. There's a good South Park episode with Christopher Reeves and stem cells.
Yeah.
If you ever watch it, I would suggest it.
That'd be that one.
Pretty freaking funny. Yeah, it's basically Christopher Reeves eating fetuses and gaining superpowers. Becoming real life Superman, but he's the villain. So as long as they don't become the villain. I mean, just there you go.
Yeah, try not to. Try not to.
All the superpowers you want, dude. Right? What would you do? You don't even have to answer that one.
Yeah, nothing.
That's my wife talking to me over there. Go ahead and just say it, Jazzy.
You need to come a little closer. You're behind the mic.
This way? Thank you. See? There we go. Everybody say hi to Jasmine. Where were we? Right around your transplant, right?
Yeah.
Any sort of like, what was your biggest fear? Like, what was the biggest thing you overcame about your transplant, or just in general about having cystic fibrosis?
Well, as far as overcoming things, I think, like we've talked about before, like 2006, I just kind of went in the woods and dosed myself with mushrooms and acid, alternating all summer long.
Oh, man.
Kind of found myself and made peace with life.
This is like your classic.
Yeah, go into the woods and come out, with
that's
inspiration, and it kind of happens.
Almost like your classic spirit journey, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of needed to take one at that time. So
even though it sounds stereotypical, that's not uncommon for somebody to do. I mean, a lot of people probably wouldn't think of it. A lot of people every day would never think of it, but it's still not uncommon. A lot of people can find like therapeutic benefits of hallucinogens, and it's been known to help people overcome fears or overcome certain things that they want to change in their life.
Oh, for sure.
And so you went ahead, tripped balls in the woods, kind of came to terms. What have you been doing with your life ever since then? You kind of hanging out doing your thing, or you just going around?
Been traveling.
Really? Wow, where you been?
Traveling before transplant and beyond transplant. So
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't get to answer that earlier. It's like, what all countries? Let's see. There's England. There's Paris is not a country. Oh shoot, France.
Okay.
Germany, Netherlands. I've been to Grenada, Spain. I know I just jumped across the ocean there real quick, but it just
No,
hit
that's
my
all
head.
right.
Italy, India, Bali, Taipei, Taiwan,
Wow.
most of the U.S., Mexico, Canada, Baja, Mexico.
That's basically
Yeah.
around the world.
I've kind of hit most of the okay places.
What's
I haven't hit Australia yet. Not a big interest in that.
I've heard Australia's pretty cool. At least New Zealand, I've heard, is like amazing.
Much rather go to New Zealand.
I would love to go somewhere. Just I don't know. One of these days, travel around the world too. But how did you become to travel? Like, how did you actually get around to getting around? I mean, it is kind of interesting though, because not very many people can actually say that they've been that many places. Even
I guess the unique situation of the friends I had.
Really?
And the good friend that I had went to medical school in Grenada.
Okay.
In the Caribbean. So I followed her there, and the school's home base was in England. So that was that trip. I went to visit her there, and then we just toured Europe. We did like a bus trip, from London to Munich up to Amsterdam.
Oh wow!
Cutting through Paris. But yeah, having the friends to do it, and just selling weed on the side. I mean,
hey.
It's easy to do, and you just save up, and
people love weed.
Yeah, they do.
Why not?
And I love vacations.
Yeah. Dude, that is awesome. Like self-funded across Europe, just chilling, just not a worry, or at least try to have not a worry.
No, I made sure.
Yeah.
Definitely the Europe trip. I sold enough for 2.
Was
so
that
me and a friend? We both had tickets, cash,
nice
passports. That was the first time I got passports. So
was that
weed money funded all that?
Was that pre or post transplant?
Oh, it was pre-transplant.
Pre-transplant?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
So you were going.
That was
around.
like right after the little spirit journey of.
Oh, okay. So it was after you're like, you know what, screw it.
Yeah, this is what I want. That's what I figured out. So.
Life's short. Let's do what I want to do.
Yeah.
It's impressive though, because not many people can say that they've done that. So.
Yeah. So that kind of covers that, and let's see. Oh yeah, I've been to Aruba. Went to that island for a minute.
I bet that was beautiful.
It's pretty nice. Grenada is amazing.
I don't even know.
I think Grenada just has to top it, because I've been to Bahamas, I've been to Aruba and Grenada's.
So where is Grenada? Is that in the Caribbean too, or?
Yeah, it's like at the far southern tip where Trinidad and.
Okay. So I never heard of that one, but
like it's maybe 110 miles from Venezuela.
So you just hop on a boat and just kind of Pirates of the Caribbean it?
No. Fly out of Miami. No, there's a flight out of Miami.
Oh, okay. Hey man, cruise sometimes. I know cruises go around all.
Yeah, cruises do go there, and that was pretty sad.
Never been on a cruise.
The cruise port, and it's the cruise port pulls up, and they have this big fake mall with everything made in China in it.
Oh.
And then 2 streets away is all the local dealers with their handicrafts and their fruits.
That's what I would want to see. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I would, if I want to go somewhere.
Yeah, I had the private tour of the island. I just walked over and saw
That's
the
awesome.
cruise ship part, and I was like, yeah, it's just.
So you just kind of go and talk to like natives around there, or did very many people speak English?
Oh, everybody speaks English.
Oh, really? Nice.
English, and I think there's pidgin, but you can kind of make out.
Okay. Is that just like hardcore island speak?
Yeah.
I don't even want to try and imitate it. I just embarrass myself.
No, it is an actual language, but it does kind of blend with English.
Yeah.
Somehow.
How's the culture out there? Just
pleasant.
Pleasant. Everybody's nice.
Most everybody I know was Rasta or just
Oh, dude,
chill as fuck.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah. Definitely a nice place.
What's one of the friendly places you've been to, like friendliest?
Friendliest. Friendliest place would probably have to be Canada.
Why is that so unsurprising?
You know,
I was hoping for something interesting,
no.
something exciting. Eh?
Canada,
But yeah,
Canada has a yin and yang with me. Like,
And I'm not talking bad about Canada, guys. It's just you guys are kind of stereotypically nice.
Oh wow.
So keep it
Yeah.
up, Canada.
You know, like I went to Niagara Falls and went across the border and super nice crossing over. And
Oh, yeah.
Went into Toronto, got a hostel, spent a few nights.
Nice.
Everyone there was super nice,
Yeah. Now
and the cafes super nice.
it's
Like,
just kind of
the
like
hostel-
people
just
hanging
everybody's
out.
just chilling, like no like aggression in their voice or anything. Like that,
Right. That's one thing you do always hear about Canada. It's just people are just friendly.
You know? However, I do have a story to tell about Canada.
Is it about them getting in a fight?
No, it's about me getting held up for a while.
Oh shit! What happened?
I guess I'm a felon in Canada. So having a DUI in the United States is a felony in Canada. So the first trip in, the guy never asked if you ever been arrested. So
Oh, wow.
I got in and got out, no problem, right? And so on our road trip, we went ahead and went to Vermont, and we tried to cross at the Vermont border, going to Quebec. And they asked, like, you ever been arrested? I was like, back when, and it was for this. They're like, oh, well, it hasn't been 10 years, so you're still a felon. You can't come to Canada.
Ah.
I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
Oh.
Like, didn't know, truly
Right.
an honest mistake. And then we thought, well, where we were really wanting to go was the Bay of Fundy up in New Brunswick, because they have some of the largest tides in the world.
Oh, really?
And studying geology, that was just
Oh, yeah,
like
that's right.
me, like, yeah, I just gotta see this, right? Yeah, they have like 40, 50-foot tides
Oh, really?
there. And where it's like in a bay, it's more of like
And is that like
a mile.
total?
It's like a mile out. Like,
So-
like when the
Oh,
tide
really?
goes
No,
out,
like when it goes
a
out.
mile.
Oh my God! It's not like just 40, 50-foot waves. It actually goes out.
Yeah, because it's in a bay.
Dang.
Right.
Dude, that'd be
So
awesome.
that's where we were trying to head, and we were in Maine trying to go into Canada, in the middle of a damn blizzard, like truly a blizzard, like Jeeps in 4-wheel drive. We were
That
in the
answers my next question. I was about to say, why didn't you take a boat?
We're like in the middle of the interstate, driving in 4-wheel drive at 30 miles an hour,
Oh no.
and can't see a thing. And we pull up to the border, and expect they're going to ask, and if so, we turn around. If not, whatever. You know what? They didn't ask.
Really?
We're like,
Huh.
let's go with it, right?
Maybe you just looked suspicious the first.
That or the Canadian, or
Nice.
because that was Quebec, and
Huh?
this was going to New Brunswick.
Oh, okay.
And
Different territory, different
yeah,
different
my
province,
total
different policy.
excuse was my only buyout. The excuse was, the territories have different laws.
Right.
It's Canada across the board.
Oh,
right?
okay.
But I was
That was my first guess.
Yeah, exactly right. it got me out of jail. So we're in the middle of a snowstorm at this border, and about 2 hours of trying to get paperwork done and get into Canada.
Yeah.
Because they're like, why are you coming here? To go skiing? Like, that's what we said. And they were like, where's your skis? Like, well, we're going to rent them, duh. Like, just had no clue on that answer. Like, we had really no clue. We had no clue where we were staying, because they want to know, like,
Yeah. We're just
where's
winging it.
where's your hotel tonight and all this. Make sure you're not, like, just going to
Yeah.
Canada to sleep under a bridge.
We're just winging it, eh?
Yeah. So, they almost let us go. They're like, okay, you're good to go. They sent a dog through the Jeep, make sure we didn't have anything. They ran our
Right.
passports, everything. Almost let us go. We were walking out, just happy. We didn't even realize we left our passports.
Oh,
We were just happy they were letting us go. We got to the door, and they're like, hey, you forgot your passports. And, oh, by the way, pointing to me, we need to talk to you.
Oh no.
And a dude pulls me to the side, and he's like, is there anything you need to tell me? I'm like, about what? He's like, have you ever been arrested? And I was like,
Maybe.
do you want to know the truth?
Yeah.
So, it all came out. He's like, yeah, we know you tried to cross at the Vermont border, and
Oh, dang.
yeah, you're trying to cross again, and that's breaking some sort of law. So you have to wait here until Her Majesty's representative shows up or some shit. And so I'm like, oh god. And it was another about 6 hours sitting there, and a good 30-minute conversation with the woman.
Dang.
And her threatened to throw me in jail for the weekend. She's like, I can legally hold you in our Canadian border jail till Monday. And this was like, Friday evening.
Do you want to?
And I'm just like, but the excuse played off.
Yeah.
Like, I just kept to it. I didn't.
When all else fails, just play dumb.
Cops,
just
man.
play dumb.
Yep, I played dumb. I was like, look, they let us in Ontario,
Right?
so I just assumed it was a territorial thing.
Hey, there you go.
And so she gave me a stern warning not to return to Canada.
Dude, was she dressed like a Mountie?
Again.
Are there
No.
female Mounties?
I don't know.
I've never seen
No,
it.
she was very professionally dressed. She was,
Like an officer?
yeah.
Oh, shit. You were in trouble.
Yeah, I was in trouble, yeah. Yeah, I was,
You're violating a law.
yeah. So, yeah, I'm not allowed into Canada for
How dare you do
Oh.
something sketchy in your
a long
past?
time.
That'll teach you. Wow.
Yeah, I definitely should call next time.
I mean, that's still nice. They let you go. They didn't have to.
They did let me go.
Yeah.
See, so there's
Yeah,
there's all
that's-
my benefits of saying that, like, I think it's the nicest country.
Yeah, there you go.
You know,
It's,
like
yeah,
Mexico's pretty cool, but I don't know.
what's it like
That's what I'm
crossing the border from Mexico?
Like, going in is easy.
Yeah.
You just walk in. You never been to Mexico?
No, dude.
Really?
Really?
Yeah.
I've never been outside the U.S.
Oh, yeah. You
Yeah.
just walk in.
I've actually traveled from coast to coast, though. I've driven not all in one trip, but since I lived in the Midwest, I've driven from Illinois to to South Carolina. Actually, didn't go to the coast. Got close, like 50 miles away. I should have.
Yeah. Charleston
But
is beautiful.
then my wife and I went on our honeymoon. We drove from Springfield, Illinois to Oregon, out to
Oh.
Eugene, and then from Eugene we went out to the coast there, drove along the Oregon coast.
Nice.
Dude,
I haven't
like,
seen that yet.
it's gorgeous, dude. You should go. Like I've got a thing for mountains, and that's kind of like half of what drove us to Colorado too. It's,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just it's beautiful out here. Like we've been out here for a year. It's gorgeous. It's speechless.
Yeah.
It's hard to explain because it's going from someone that like never traveled before either. I was probably in my mid-20s before I went out to the East Coast, and what 32? Do we even out to the West Coast?
Yeah.
So it was different, but like it made me feel like a kid again.
Right?
And ever since that, it's just I want to see this.
You
I
know,
wanna
that's
see stuff.
exactly some of the travel feeling. It's like that's some of the fix you get
Yeah.
as you feel like a kid again because you're kind of like just off exploring
Do you
with no responsibility.
what do you think about people who call themselves travelers that only go by plane? Do you think the drive is half of the trip, or?
No, plane ride could be fucking a battle too, man.
I mean, if you're going like across continents, of course, but like say you're just going across the U.S., would you rather plane or car?
I don't know. I've crossed it 13 times in a car. I could-
different routes, hopefully.
Most of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had northern, southern, and most of the mid. Most of it has been through 40 and through Kansas.
Yeah, it takes like 12 hours to drive through Kansas.
Yeah,
Like, and then
it takes like 18 to drive
and
through
then-
Texas. You literally spend a whole
Yeah, I could
driving
believe
day
that.
in Texas.
like the Kansas thing was a joke, but I can
Yeah.
actually believe it taking that long to drive across Texas.
Yeah,
It's huge.
Texas is huge, and it's boring. I mean, so is Kansas. Kansas is rough.
What's the
That's even leading up to the Front Range, actually. I mean, just because you cross into Colorado doesn't make it exciting.
Nebraska is pretty boring.
Yes.
Drove through Nebraska, and sorry, Nebraskans, but it's y'all are boring. Like when you start getting kind of eastern though, like eastern Kansas and eastern Nebraska, where it's like the northern Ozarks, or it's just like kind of rolling hills. I don't know if it's got a different name, but that's pretty out there. Like there's some nice scenery out there, but the Ozarks are nice. I experienced those in younger, but the Rocky Mountains are just freaking awesome.
Yeah, it's a different,
like
different sensation, totally.
Is that what brought you out here?
No, the medical.
The medical. Oh yeah. You know, when I was listening about CF, a lot of the sources that I realized came from the Colorado area around Denver and Boulder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, actually.
Huh.
So I just started to kind of assume that there's a lot of good centers. Is this what we're looking for? Are there centers for cystic fibrosis or?
Yeah. Well, there's usually clinics. It's like a CF clinic dedicated to that.
Oh, okay.
More or less, it's pediatricians though.
Oh, okay.
Just for the fact that we don't make it to adults. So
well, I mean, don't say that.
Well,
obvious.
They have not. They're still training doctors to teach to handle adult CF patients.
I gotcha. So it's not about.
They don't have those specialties out yet.
Don't make kids cry. So you like
kids don't listen to this.
Hey, you never know, man. Some kids listen to some weird stuff. Not saying don't listen to us, but I think it's good what we're putting out here. So there are centers all around, and just kind of traveling around there, that kind of got you into traveling, is what you told me, right?
Right.
And is that what sent you around the world too, or was that more of just like, F it, I want to go around the world?
That was all. Each and everything was circumstantial.
Yeah.
You know, like going to Europe was something that the three of us planned in a holler one night over pizza and some of those god awful drinks. You know what I'm talking about? They're caffeine and beer.
Oh, Four Logos.
Yeah, we were messed up on those and some cheap ass pizza, and we're like, we should sell weed and go to Europe.
You gotta eat cheap ass pizza to get the Four Loko taste out of your mouth.
Yeah. Or the cardboard box.
Dude, that's a.
But going to India, that was a different trip because a friend was getting married there.
Oh, really?
So I had the hospitality and everything set up. Just photographed the wedding, and photographing a traditional India wedding was just amazing. It was very difficult.
I've heard the ceremonies are like just extravagant.
Oh yeah, it was like 5 days.
Oh really? Wow, 5 days.
It's 5 days of shooting, 5 days of running around to here and there, and
wow. And
I think they had other stuff going on too, but as far as like just the main,
they're serious about getting married over there, aren't they?
It's a big deal, yes.
Damn. Like I'm not saying it's not
they
serious, but
it was actually they were both Canadian. They had only been in India like maybe for a visit.
Yeah.
But their parents were like born and raised in India, so they wanted them to get married.
No, that makes a lot more sense.
Style, yeah. No, they were both against it. They both thought that was silly. They were like, whatever. But you know, I got to go take some pictures.
Hopefully, India didn't ask if they had felonies or not.
India asks a lot.
Do
you have to apply for a visa just to get into the country.
Really?
And the visa was, I submitted it probably 6 times, and the picture wasn't right because you can't smile, and the proportions all have to be exactly right, and then the pixel size has to be right.
Oh wow!
Like their bureaucratics is off the charts.
Wow!
Just trying to get in, like as soon as we learned we were going to go to India, it was like, do that paperwork. And get it sent in, because you have to send your passport to like San Francisco or DC. They put a big old stamp on a page, and then they ship your passport back to you. So that's, that's time in the mail. And
so if you're going to India, prepare early.
Yes.
Dang.
Way early.
Wow. India's like isn't it one of the most populous countries in the world?
Right next to China, yeah. And it is right next to China.
Like, we gotta keep track of you. We don't want no more people here. Go away. Don't just wander in and get lost.
Right.
We have tigers.
They do.
Yeah, they do. I would never want to meet a tiger. At least not a wild tiger.
Ride an elephant and
really?
What are they called? Camels.
Really?
Yeah.
Both in India?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I do have India's got a pretty crazy biodiversity range,
yeah.
if I'm saying that right. You're
Yeah,
the
like one of the parks that where the Taj Mahal is.
Yeah.
It has like a big park before you actually get into like this sanctuary area that's all green grass and the big Taj Mahal. There's monkeys running around.
Oh, cool.
There's I'm not gonna say there's giraffes. I don't think there was a giraffe. Just camels towing things and
Just
like hooked up to like two-wheel trailers and stuff like that.
it's amazing. Yeah, I want to see stuff like that. Like, I'm kind of jealous
Yeah.
because just going out there and seeing each individual cultures and talking to people from like different countries, probably the same as talking to people from different worlds, I bet.
Oh yeah. But
Ever meet just like
it's humbling.
Yeah,
It's very humbling to meet all these people.
ever meet somebody just like so interesting that you just like like, I don't know, like just somebody there that you just kind of like you're attached to, or just like you're just so cool, or just what's the coolest person you ever met out in a foreign country?
Coolest person would have to be like one of the few guides that we've hired to hike a mountain. This was post-transplant, and it was in Bali.
Oh, really?
Excuse me.
No, it's all right.
So we went to Bali and hung out at a place that we knew, some Canadian friends we knew.
Back to the Canadians.
Canada keeps coming up, yeah. No, they had a place there that they owned and like Tom shared out and whatever, so we got to go stay with them for a bit. And we, like my ex-wife and I, were kind of just hiked the tallest thing wherever we were.
Okay.
Like she was with me in Aruba. Highest point of Aruba is 621 feet. And we hiked it. We did it.
Yeah.
That was before transplant, so that really was a mountain to me.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah, I bet.
But no, we hired this guide, this porter guy, to take us up Mount Agung, which was a volcano and active.
Oh, really?
Yeah, active geologic standards,
All right, so,
and it was kind of.
So what it lacked for in height, it made up for in danger.
It was still 10,000 feet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Mount Agung was still 10,000 feet. So we woke up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We went to the other side of the island, and stayed at this nice little resort. Woke up at like 2 a.m. and one of those tropical downpours, which is try to wake up in the middle of a rain and get motivated to hike.
No.
Thinking like the rain will stop eventually. No, dude. So it was a torrential downpour from 2 o'clock. We woke up, we got ready, we got on a shuttle that drove us an hour to the base of the mountain where we met our guide.
Yeah.
And it's still downpour, and our guide's like, "It's up to you. It's up to you." He keeps saying, "It's up to you."
It's up to you.
And we're both like, "Let's go, let's go, let's
Right.
go." And it was well over until halfway up Mount Agung. It's kind of stopped raining. I think it was just really we got
Got above the
above
cloud
the
level.
rain. But as soon as we did that, like that was the coolest guy, man.
Dang.
He was down to earth. He, like, on the side of a volcano, dude. Like, we had no clue what he had in his backpack. He whips out a little gas stove, like a real full-sized skillet. Not a backpacker skillet or anything, like a real skillet. And he fried us up some plantains.
Really?
And cooked us some Luwak coffee right on the side of the mountain.
That is really cool, actually.
We downed that, and we were like, wow, that's a lot of energy. All right, so we went to the top and, made it back down and saw some monkeys along the way.
Hey, guys, you want some plantains?
No. These things are aggressive, man. I don't know what they're called.
Oh, really?
They're gray. They got big old furry heads.
Were they just spider monkeys, or?
I don't know if that's what you call them or
I
not,
guess like the common name for them? I don't know.
They definitely were showing teeth and
really?
trying to hold ground.
Were they trying to steal stuff from you?
Someone had littered.
Oh, okay.
So they were digging through the trash and we walked past and
that sucks.
trying to be defensive over.
Right. Whatever he found.
Which is
mine.
Yeah.
That sucks, man.
But I have a picture, just because I'm me, sticking my leg over the caldera rim
Oh, really?
and looking inside the volcano with the sulfur and the steam still coming out.
Oh, jeez.
So
Yeah.
that was pretty fun. It's kind of cool to know now that I can never go back to that spot.
Oh, really? They close it down?
It blew
or-
up.
Oh.
It erupted, I think, last year.
Okay.
Blew its
Did
top.
not know that.
Yeah. So it's still pretty active.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Definitely mentioned that earlier. But man, when you think active volcano, like I think of like Hawaii, where it's like, what is it?
Passively, like
Yeah, where it's
always
just
going off
constantly
like
melting.
Kilauea.
Yeah,
Yeah, no.
like you don't think of the actual like volcano. It's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take you with me.
No, ones like that, that's a stratovolcano.
Okay.
So, that by definition, that's pretty much a 45-degree angle we hiked.
Okay.
You know?
Jeez.
And that was, we're on an island, so almost sea level, if not, give or take a few hundred feet,
Yeah.
up to 10,000 feet.
Man, that is so crazy.
Yeah, the stratus volcanoes, they have more of a tendency to explode.
I gotcha.
They build up and
Think they'll open
Eventually
it again someday?
pop their top. I don't know.
Yeah. Is it like?
The last I saw of it, I think it was still venting a lot of ash. So
Oh, really?
I think some of the island is devastated. I'm
You
not sure.
don't
I haven't
really hear
kept
much
up with it.
about stuff like that. Like I didn't
Right,
even
you
know
don't.
about it. It's crazy. I try to stay up on events, but wow, that just shows how much comes out in our news. Like,
Our news is so
you
filtered,
don't
so
learn anything from it. Like there's no. If
Just
you
get
wanna,
scared.
if you want to get some rich asslo's opinion all day long, they'll give you that till the fucking day ends. But other than
Right.
that, you don't learn anything new.
No.
Look at my suit.
But yeah,
I'll
that guy
tell you what you
was-
want.
was pretty awesome. 'Cause, I don't know. He just had a way about him that
Oh
it
yeah.
worked out,
Oh yeah, totally.
And he was chill and.
That's like
So after he cooked us the Luwak coffee, because have you heard of Luwak coffee?
it's. I want to say yes, but is it the one made from civet shit?
Luwak shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, there's another one that's
Yeah.
like,
So it's
Yeah.
one of those. It's a shit coffee, but I've
Yeah.
heard it's absolutely amazing.
it is.
And I'm not saying it's a shit coffee because it's gross, but it's like if nobody knows what he's talking about, it's the cat. It's like it is a cat, right?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a cat marsupial.
Yeah, and it eats the beans, but it doesn't digest them. And I mean, it sounds gross, but it's a delicacy, and
Yeah, it's delicious.
yeah. I don't. Do they roast them or
Yeah.
like? I'm obviously they clean them,
Yeah.
or they roast them after they collect them, and that.
Yep, they roast them, and the thing with Bali, I guess, in the way they don't really have plastic or some deal where they don't have filters on the island, like coffee filters and such.
Really?
So basically, the way they drink their coffee is they turn it into powder,
Okay.
and then you just pour it in your cup, stir it up, and let it sit for a second, let it settle, and then take it off the top, and then you got sludge at the bottom.
Interesting.
But
Delicious.
Luwak coffee, I just keep stirring it, and you just keep drinking the grounds, and
Was
I
that
know
going up
I-
the hill?
I know how I made it up that mountain now.
Woo! I'm fired up on coffee and
Yeah.
cat shit. Yeah, let's go.
Pretty
Stick my
much.
leg in a volcano.
About as bad as Cheech's Labradoodle, and wow.
And my dog ate my stash, man. Oh, dude, that's good though. The guy like that, you think he probably sees people like that all the time too, and I bet you he's just like helped so many people up that mountain. By now, he just knows. He's like, fried plantain, coffee. Don't. It's like just take it because you're gonna need it. You don't know it. I'm helping you, bro.
Yeah, he was definitely good at it.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. But what it related to with the Luwak coffee was like, hey man, can you get us some? Because I don't know if you know, like it's expensive.
Oh,
Like,
I've heard.
Very expensive. Even on the island, it's expensive.
Oh, really?
I think like they were selling an ounce or a 5-ounce bag for like $20.
Oh, really?
Something like that. Yeah.
Dang.
And that's already ground up too. They already ground it to their like pulverized state.
How much does that make? Just a few cups?
I mean, however much you want to put in the cup.
I mean, I guess,
Like,
yeah, that's true.
like honestly, like for a normal standard like cup of coffee, like a good tablespoon of that, that would be fine. That'd be a good strong one. And it's already slightly sweet, so
Oh,
yeah, it
interesting.
It doesn't have that bitter, dry taste that like a medium roast has.
What is it, like the acid? It's like something about their stomach acid
Yeah.
that makes it smooth.
Yeah.
It kind of, I don't know how it works, but
I don't either. It's good though.
I'll have to try it sometime. I mean,
Yeah.
got to at least try it.
But the dude hooked us up with about a kilo's worth.
Oh, crap.
For like $20.
Did you drink it all there, or were you able to take any back?
Oh, we smuggled it all back. Can't drink that much coffee. We smuggled it back and put it in freezer bags.
It's amazing.
Let some of our friends sample it. We're like, yeah, check it out. Like,
it's amazing that they wouldn't let you just bring it back. I mean, it's like drugs. I mean,
you can bring it back.
You can? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you said you had to smuggle it back. I'm like, oh, they can't let you take that with? Figure something like Cuban cigars or something.
I never felt anything on those stupid ass slips on the plane.
Yeah.
Like, what are you taking in and bringing out of the country? Like, just keep it simple, man. Just leave it blank.
I've never flown out of the country, so
yeah.
There's good advice. Say nothing.
Yeah. Sometimes you can get away with taking, because they have limitations. Like, you can't take more than, say, like a liter on your carry-on.
Yeah.
Of like alcohol.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Of alcohol?
Yeah. Like,
dang.
Like when I went to Grenada, like they had what was it called? Rum cream. Was that the local one? Rum cream. Friggin' delicious. It's almost like Bailey's, but higher percentage. And so I bought a bottle. And I wanted to bring more home, so I just, figured out what I could bring and how.
I gotcha. Did it have to be sealed and in your like luggage and whatnot, or? Yeah. I gotcha.
But I figured out that you
can't just be on the plane.
The Grenada airport at the time, really didn't check your what was in your backpack.
Oh, really?
So I threw everything in my other bag, and my backpack was filled with 4 bottles. I'm just like, don't run, don't make him jiggle.
Is their TSA agent just like a monkey standing there with a spear?
Everywhere. Everywhere. Especially when you're coming back to the U.S. That's the worst part of traveling, man.
Oh, I bet. I've never traveled outside of the U.S. I couldn't imagine, but traveling to Florida on a plane is unappealing and unexciting.
Right. Yeah, there's a difference when you have to go through customs.
Yeah.
Customs is always holding your breath because, are you breaking any laws?
It's like even if you're not breaking the law, you're like, God, these guys are probably going to do something stupid to me.
Yeah. I do have to say I have flown successfully with all of my medications.
Oh, nice. That's
never been
good.
Questioned. I haven't took any extra documentation saying I have.
Oh, really?
I do it the same way I did the rum in Grenada. I put it in a backpack on my back. No one checks it. No one touches it.
Wow.
I mean, they send it through the scanner, but they don't. No one.
Nobody even asked any questions, huh?
Yeah.
A bunch of pill bottles in your backpack.
A whole bunch.
And they're just like, okay, this guy's cool.
He's
whatever.
Yeah.
But that is cool though, because obviously, they're probably like, I don't even want to start. I know the paperwork.
Right. Yeah. And, I've read a few blogs of some post-transplant people traveling, and they're scared to travel to developing countries just because of the germ thing.
Right.
You can get around that. I've been to Haiti.
Okay.
You can get around that crap.
Yeah.
You just gotta have the will and want.
Make sure and pack sanitizer and stuff like that, or just know where to go.
No, not where to go. How to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Clean tablets for water.
Okay.
Usually there's a lot in India.
Okay.
If the bottle wasn't sealed, I put tablets in it.
Right.
Like the chlorine iodine tablets.
Don't take any chances.
Yeah.
No.
Not a one. Definitely clean what you eat. If it's fruit or whatever.
Yeah. people should do that here anyways, but.
Right.
I could imagine some of the things that go on in other countries where
Yeah, like the unregulated markets, like little open farmers markets.
right. It's like, you know,
It could be kind of sketchy.
looks
some
good,
places.
but what'd you grow that with? You never know though. I mean, sometimes you just like you on your trip. Sometimes you just gotta take a chance.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I feel like that would probably be the best way to start a trip like that. Especially, what's Europe like? Like, is it almost? I just want to always imagine Europe is like going across small America.
Mm-hmm.
Is that really what it's kind of like?
With a different currency.
With a different currency, yeah. I'm sure it looks different though. I mean, all the
yeah.
bigger cities are probably arranged differently just by
Everything's so much older.
yeah,
And
the
that's
age of 'em.
immediate. As soon as you get there, you're like, wow, this is an old place.
right.
You know, like we're 250, 300 years old here.
Yeah,
as far as
everything's in grids.
you know, and over there, you know, they got thousands of years of history. You
Oh,
know,
wow.
even in the Europe. So, you know, you got stuff there that's
That would be a cool
very
thing.
old.
Yeah, a very
Actually touching
very cool thing to
history.
see actually, because like, is it like you can go to a city and kind of like see the city's history as you move outward from the center? Because isn't that how Europeans just kind of got bigger? European cities, they just kind of sprawled.
You know, I think I noticed that in London.
Yeah.
Because where we had to stay was someone's flat that was kind of outside of town.
Okay.
So, you know, we fly into, what is that? Is that Heathrow? Or is that in LA? Or
I
New
don't know.
York, or whatever it is. We fly into London. And, yeah, the whole epicenter of the city is very, you know, old stone, old canals around the Thames
Right.
River.
Almost medieval.
Yeah,
Kinda,
stuff like that.
but
And then,
updated.
like, you know, when we took the train or the bus out to the train, bus, whatever it was.
Trolley?
Trolley,
The
maybe?
lorry.
Whatever it was. When we took that out to the flat, it was like, oh, this could just be a suburb, you know,
Oh, okay.
here in America. You know, it looked, you know,
Oh,
just
really?
apartment buildings and
Just looked like
yeah,
everything
built-
else.
yeah.
Everything modernized.
everything modernized, yeah.
So
Pretty
that's
little park in the middle. Like
that's
it should
what
have.
would take the fun out of traveling, I think.
Yeah.
I feel like even though the people, I'm sure the culture would be way different, I would hate to go to a place and just be disappointed to see the same thing that I saw halfway around the world. But
I think cities have gotten that way. I think I'm done.
Kind of, yeah.
I'm done seeing cities.
I was saying that a while back. It's like I haven't seen a lot of cities though, so I don't have much to judge off of. But the ones I've seen, there are some fairly unique ones, like St. Louis. Have you ever been to St. Louis?
Yeah.
It's a cool city. Like it's
sketch.
got what's that?
It's sketch.
You never been to Springfield, Illinois. It's a
I
lot
think I
smaller.
have.
It's sketchy too. It's super sketchy. Well, even though St. Louis is kind of sketch, but it's actually a really cool place. Like
It is. I mean, I've done
This-
the arch.
the arch is
walk around
cool.
town,
Did you get to feel it sway when the wind goes back and forth?
Right.
That's what I thought was sketchy. You go up in that little tram, it's all cramped, and you're like going up this thing that's like 5 feet wide. It's like clack, clack, clack. 50 freaking years old.
Right, you should go up the Empire State Building.
Oh, that would be a cool
That
one.
takes like 3 elevators, I think.
I've never seen New York City.
It's like you get in this elevator and you go up like 10 or 20 floors, then you go in this elevator and you go up maybe 30, then you get in this one, and wherever you get to like what is it, the 81st floor is the observation deck or something
You
like
get
that.
up to the
so
top and like
it's like a half-hour journey up.
Donkey Kong's throwing old school 8-bit barrels down and
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, I think that's like the 81st floor.
Dang. You know, that would be cool. New York City would probably be a fun city to see.
You know, I would definitely I'd much rather go see New York again and
Yeah.
again than I would LA.
New
ever.
York's got its own culture. It's like everything
Well,
you
its own
see from New
history.
York is just like it's almost like its own place in the U.S. basically.
Well, yeah.
I mean, fuck, it's so populous. There's so many people there. But like you always hear about New Yorkers, it's like, hey, they're just down to it, gritty. You know, I'm gonna tell you what's up,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't hate you. That's a terrible New York accent. But yeah, it's like St. Louis was pretty cool. Chicago, I used to have to drive through Chicago a lot. I hated driving through Chicago. Traffic was horrible. I mean, it's just like even driving through the outskirts, the suburbs, it's just like just crap everywhere.
Like I do like Chicago's center and like the what is it, Centennial Park and Buckingham Fountain.
Yeah. I never had the pleasure of going through the nice part of Chicago.
Yeah,
I just always did the industrial parts through work and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But I mean, it still wasn't bad. Some of the suburbs weren't bad.
The west side's bad.
But it's just weird. Like I don't understand how people would want to just live in such a place just to live in such a place. It's a horrible way to put it. I mean, not dogging the way you live, guys, but I mean, what's in Chicago? Except for in here in Colorado, I don't know if you ever had like legit Chicago style pizza.
Never been into it. New York style pizza, all the way.
No, it's Chicago style. It's thick crust. You got all your toppings, like thick ass layer of cheese, and then the sauce is on top, and it's just like this weird pizza sauce boat. But it's so good.
Can't do it.
New York pizza is good too, though. I like all pizza. I can live off this. Definitely, Colorado pizza, man. You guys are kind of missing the mark.
You gotta come to the Gondolier.
Okay.
I'm making pizza there.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I make good pizza.
I will definitely
It's New
show
York
up there.
style.
That's one thing.
Whether they like it or not, it's freaking New York style.
That's one thing my wife and I do enjoy, like being here. We've tried so much different foods. That's one cool thing about this area is it does seem more cultured than a lot of places I've been through. It's like Colorado is like a melting pot. And I didn't think of it like that much of one, but man, there's just so much going on here. You can never not have something to do.
And that became very apparent to me when I first came here too. I was like, you know what? There's so many people that's left their own place to come here,
right?
On a choice matter, where like you're saying in Chicago, like why are you staying there? It's like, right? Well, everybody has a choice.
Yeah.
And for people to make the choice to come to where they want to live, I think creates a happier place than sitting in a place where
that is a good point.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I can't leave and I don't like it here.
Right.
But
like I never really thought of it that way.
If you have the luxury to say, hey, I want to go live there because that's a nice place.
And
actually everybody else is doing it too.
Yeah.
It kind of like creates a nice.
Some people don't really have that opportunity though. Like,
yeah.
I was lucky enough where we were able to get help while we were in the process of moving here. So like family and friends, we were able to stay with family and save up money for a good few months in order to make it here. Otherwise, I mean, it was like $10,000 just to get everything here.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. I mean, when you move in a family, it's just like you got to save up. You got to have the deposit. Housing's pretty expensive here.
It is.
And so like you got to have your deposit. You got to have your first month's rent. You got to make sure and like be able to afford the U-Haul, which is expensive. It's like $1,500 or more. That's for a small one.
Yeah.
Fuel. It all just adds up. And then on top of it, if we didn't move all of our furniture, so we had to get some new furniture too. And like whenever we got down to it, like we barely made it, like just barely. But
I came here in a bus.
Hey, that is like the upside of being able to travel when you're single, or where you're just by yourself too, because like you don't even have to give a crap about what you're leaving there. You're just like, well, whatever, it's just stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I've just I think just learned from my travels.
Yeah.
Like I don't want much. I don't want to pack around much.
You want experiences.
Like that's more important to me than having a new set of pants or clothes or whatever.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But shoot, totally lost topic on that one.
Why you came to Colorado?
Oh,
came on a bus.
Came here on a bus, right? Yeah. I was in a fresh relationship.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of nice. She was like, "Let's get out of here."
Yeah.
She was wanting to leave, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm wanting to go to Colorado." She's like, "I was actually thinking Fort Collins." I'm like, "Cool." We ended up spending a summer in Asheville, North Carolina.
Really?
And we went down to South Carolina and bought a 14-passenger city transit bus that someone had already ripped all the seats out of and took out the
that would be a good way to do it.
handicap ramp,
Yeah.
the 2,000 pounds worth of crap, right?
Hmm.
And we took
Not at one point.
we took 1 month and just built it.
Cool.
We put a bed that we had to move every night. We had a 2-burner propane gas stove, 35 gallons of fresh water, 5-gallon.
Nice. So you
Mini-
just built a camper, basically, or built an RV.
We built a camper on the inside of that in a month with just our own 2 hands. And
You always see people do it with school buses.
yeah, we did
And
this on
the school bus ones are cool, but the transit bus I could see being so much better too.
And it was so short. Like
Yeah, that's what I was
cruise
thinking.
70.
It's made to actually
And-
go around on highways plus wind city streets.
Yeah, like we took it down to because we had 2 mountain bikes on the back of it, so we went down to the Ozarks.
Did it have the 2 sets of doors? And you could just push a button.
No, the whole door automatic thing was broken.
Oh.
Yeah, that was all done manually. We did have 2 glass doors that did that,
Oh, okay.
but you had to lock it shut up top.
I gotcha.
Yeah, because they
At least you didn't just like put a doorknob on it or something. Something super janky.
no, nothing like that. Just tried to make it look as normal as possible, so we could sleep in parking lots. And
Oh yeah,
stuff
there
like
you
that.
go. That's.
Because-
I just picturing a bus with like still the city markings on it and shit, just sitting in a parking lot.
No, it was totally white.
Oh, okay.
Totally white. We blacked out the windows, and I remember sitting. You mentioned St. Louis. I remember sitting at the pyramid.
Oh, really?
What they turned that into? They turned the pyramid into a barn. No, Barnes and Noble. It's a hunting Cabela's.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
they turned it into a Cabela's. We spent the night there. We had 2 security cars circle us because we had no lights on the inside. We're standing up inside of our bus, just looking like, all right, guys, just go away.
Right? Were the windows tinted?
Oh yeah,
Nice.
We blacked it out, and we had it like where no
Nice.
one could see in, and
That would be, that's
yeah, that was a lot of fun.
that's the
So-
way to do it, man. That's absolutely the way to do it. You put all your stuff in a truck. If we could have done it that way, actually, that wouldn't have been a bad idea either. Like, I always thought that'd be fun. Just get in something like that and travel around for weeks at a time.
I mean, it's not short of its headaches,
Right.
24/7, but
Maintenance.
what it's worth is
Right. Did you have to get a CDL for it or anything, or just you're
No, it's
able
just
to
a-
use your regular license? Since
It's just an F350 dually.
Oh, okay. I'm
Yeah.
imagine. Okay, I'm imagining like like an actual like city bus.
No, like the small ones around here.
Okay, that makes
It's
a lot
an
more sense.
F350 dually with a coach cab on the back.
Yeah.
14 passenger.
No, yeah, I absolutely know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Like I was just picturing
Right. Oh yeah. Okay.
like the
One of
city
those.
bus that kind of
that'd be,
yeah.
Oh, that'd be sweet. I'd still be living in that thing.
Right? That's what I was
Yeah.
picturing this whole time.
No, it was one of the small ones. So.
Okay, yeah, some of the smaller ones too, because that'd be kind of funny sitting in the parking lot because they'd be like, "What's going on here? It's just like
Yeah,
a
it's
limo
just a-
service." or
And
is
what do you
this
go do? You go tow it? You ain't go tow it. You
Right.
go wait till tomorrow to tow it.
Right,
Tomorrow
exactly.
Will be gone.
Well, you call somebody to tow it, they're like, I'll pick it up in the
Yeah.
morning, and then in the morning you're gone.
But yeah, like we were talking about, being like a shorter wheelbase.
Mm-hmm.
Like we took it into the Ozarks and just found some dirt roads.
Yes.
And just drove hours and hours out all these intersecting roads. It just looked like people abandoned, like all these bike trail heads
Oh,
were just growing up with grass. I don't know if we were there like early in the season or what, but we were like, this is
Southern
this is
Missouri.
us.
Southern Missouri is beautiful.
Yeah.
Like about down by the Southern Missouri Arkansas border. Spent like a year there.
I think we were actually in Arkansas
Yeah.
when we were, at least when we were driving around the outskirts.
Over by like Bull Shoals Lake in that area, like kind of towards, I think it's towards like the center where the 2 states meet up.
Yeah, something like that.
It's that's a really cool place too.
Mhm.
All sorts of hills, all sorts of like there's sprigs all over the place. I used to go just grab buckets and just fill it up for the Cold Springs right off the river because it's beautiful, crystal clear, just spring water. So why not, right? That is good.
Yeah.
You're like, not with my history. Where's my tablets?
I know too much to be drinking water from
Oh yeah.
spring.
Oh,
I don't know. You just can't trust much of it these days, man.
Spoil it for me.
I mean, it's not spoiling it for you. It's just laying out the facts. Like, you gotta know what's upstream.
No, I'm talking about like directly from the source, from like where it's coming out of the ground.
Right. But there's an underground water path.
I
and
gotcha.
That's where it's coming out.
Right.
You need to know where this water table is at and what's above it. If it's a cow pasture above it,
it was in the Mark. Dude, it was coming out of the Mark Twain National Forest.
Yeah.
So it's like nothing
it'd be better.
nothing but nature and forest land around it.
Yeah.
There was no farming, no nothing around it. Just hills and trees. It's beautiful out there.
Yeah.
It was nice. Wasn't for me though. It was pretty backcountry, even like some of the bigger towns.
Right.
It was weird. You could see, like, you're going through the grocery store and people are just like smoking a cigarette as they're grocery shopping. It's just like, wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to downplay West Virginia that bad, but
Is it like the same way, kind of?
That's kind of the best way to say, like, West Virginia. Like, you're judging the state by, like, just going to the grocery store.
Right.
Like, I do the same. And, yeah, like, I go to the grocery store there, like, sometimes, like, is this Halloween? Oh
You
my
can tell
God,
a
it's
lot
not
by going to a
Halloween.
grocery store, man. You go to a grocery store somewhere, you see the people.
Uh-huh.
You see who lives there.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just like, but sometimes, it's almost weird here. It's like almost felt right at home. That was the weirdest part, like Colorado. It's just, I guess it's just like how we said earlier. It's just so many different people have come together in one spot. It's never thought of it that way.
Choice.
Yeah, by choice.
By their choice.
And they really say that this area is like one of the happiest places to live in the country.
Yeah.
And you see it.
Aside from Hawaii.
It's really
I
cool.
think Hawaii's ranked #1, but
I can
I
imagine.
mean, you gotta have the money to live
I would
there.
love to go there. It's like a natural paradise. No
I could live on an
predators.
island. Oh,
Right.
man.
No natural predators. You can just like wander through the forest and just not have to worry about it.
Right.
Dude, it'd be awesome. Yeah, I can see why you'd have to have money to live there.
Oh, yeah.
Sucks that hopefully the native people get treated right.
They don't.
Yeah.
When has that ever happened?
That's a good point. It is true.
Maybe
though.
for another time.
All right. Yeah, maybe for another time. It is true though. Yeah, we've probably been talking. How long have we been talking here?
Over an hour.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll try and wrap this up here. Let's get back on the cystic fibrosis. What would be the best way to support the cause, or the best way to learn more about it? Just so we can have people educate themselves, like, because it's not hard. It didn't take much for me to go in and find some good information that was very, very useful, and it can take away a lot of stigma, a lot of stereotype, and just like people knowing and being aware could help them out a lot too.
I think for factual or informational purposes, CFF.org.
Okay.
The CF Foundation.
Okay.
Cystic Fibrosis Foundation.org. If you're looking to donate, they're also good. But also the Bonnell Foundation. They're based out of maybe Chicago area. Is it? I'm not sure. We'll have to look that
I don't
up.
know.
But
Okay.
the Bonnell Foundation. They help support in ways where, like state-run places leave gaps and.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, like I was in a hard spot once.
We didn't
and
even
they
get
just
into
gave me
the
like
whole
$1,000
medical debt
check.
thing, or like how much it costs to actually have it too. Which, like I said before, there's just so much that we could go through. I'd love to have you on as many times as you're willing to, man. There's so much stuff that people could learn. But for today, I say it's good. Let's call this a day. And if you want to do this again, we can meet up again next week or whenever and just do this again. Just keep talking.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
All right, man.
Well, Andy, it's been real.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And guys, thank you. And if you like it, come back next week and we'll probably have more of Andy, or we'll try and get some more people on.